This deck has been my best deck this season, and it is a deck on nobody's radar. This is the list, and it was originally cooked up by Fudge, the sort of OG mill player, and as I've been tinkering with it, what I've arrived at is any semblance of the mill game plan is no longer particularly helpful, but what is really good is being a Gladiator Fenris Wolf deck, having this top end with Death, and pairing it with powerful tech pieces like Shadow King and, to a lesser extent, Shang-Chi. A lot of what this deck does is be an amazing Shadow King deck. A lot of what this deck also does is be a very powerful hood into multiple demons deck, thanks to Misery. This is a deck that is built off of small synergies that all combine to allow you to make powerful plays at the end of games. This is also a deck that incidentally has a bunch of occasionally relevant meta tech. Stuff like Killmonger absolutely beating the crap out of the high Evo Fantastic decks because of how invested in one-drops they are is a very cool thing. So what this deck does is combine power, i.e. Iron Patriot Gladiator, with synergy, i.e. the Destroy Stuff, Hood, Misery, and Death, and then tries to sort of get enough of the things that this deck does going that it will be in the game and allow the tech to take you over the finish line. Shadow King bears special mention. He is probably the best tech card in the game right now because of the massive amount of Mr. Fantastic first steps that you're going to see. I will also say he certainly feels like a magnet for your own Mr. Fantastic first steps buffs. I've had so many 6 to 8 power Shadow Kings, I have genuinely lost count, and of course they all reset to 2. On the whole, what this deck does is take what was actually good about the mill deck, the sort of death mid-range part of the deck, and make that the forefront of what the deck is trying to do. There was an argument for mill when mill was helping this strategy. Cards like Yondu before the change were actually discounting your death. With the removal of that, there is no longer a compelling reason to be a mill deck, and we get instead this sort of awkward fusion that is actually performing incredibly well for me right now. This is also a deck with some massive surprise value. I was shocked at how many times Lady Deathstrike was absolutely game-winning. I was shocked at how cheap Death got off of just a couple of procs of Luna Snow stuff going away. I was shocked at how many times I was able to make powerful plays late in the game in ways my opponents just simply didn't expect. This deck has a lot of surprise value, a lot of relevant tech, and people don't really understand how to play against it just yet. The Hood has been one of the most powerful one-drops in the game for a very long time, in large part because of his unique status among one-drops. He's kind of the only guy that does his job as a card that makes another guy that you really want to play, but has a very specific downside attached to him. This means that you are almost always seeing him in decks that have ways of alleviating that downside. Bounce decks will pick him up, and of course, decks like this will use Misery in order to blow him up for another demon. Also, you will see him in Annihilus decks, again, turning the downside into an upside. That is a very unique design space, and so the Hood ends up being a core part of this deck because he is able to be part of your point output plan in a very efficient way. Hood Misery is just amazing right now, and a lot of good decks are likely to be using it. It's not just this list. Victoria Hand is doing very similar stuff. I didn't feel like Mr. Fantastic First Steps was a required card here. I thought he was mostly just here because he's pretty good. And it was actually pretty tough for me to determine whether I should be playing him or Iron Patriot on 2, depending on what was going on. So a lot of the time, I think this card is not necessarily irreplaceable. It's just you're going to have trouble finding a card that is as much free value as this guy. I think a lot of people will look and say, oh, it's Surge, but this deck really doesn't really want to be playing all of its cards in an order that it doesn't determine. It's a deck that's more than the sum of its parts, and it runs enough tech. There are like 3 hard tech cards in here, basically, that Surge doesn't do nearly as good of a job as Mr. Fantastic does at just acquiring value. So I think maybe there are a couple different directions you could go, but largely this is the guy that you play to acquire value. So maybe you could go play Merlin to acquire value. Just something that is going to allow you to do cool stuff, something that will accrue value over the course of the game. That's really all you're looking for out of this card, and it's a very good card at doing that, but I don't think it's irreplaceable. Shadow King is a monster right now, just an incredibly powerful card that does so much against the card we just talked about, Mr. Fantastic First Steps. People are playing all sorts of ridiculous buff decks with Mr. Fantastic and Human Torch First Steps. Buffs are everywhere. Shadow King is amazing against those buffs. Yes, you do have to be careful about things like Cosmo or things like Juggernaut, preventing you from being able to appropriately Shadow King the lane. But he is so good at such a cheap cost that he is a card that I am trying to get into basically every deck I can right now. Fenris Wolf is just another little addition. Maybe we'll be able to get some decent value out of the Fenris Wolf because of the other things that we are doing. We have a Shang-Chi, maybe we'll get something out of that. We have a Killmonger, maybe we'll get something out of that. We have a Gladiator, maybe we'll get something out of that. So Fenris Wolf is just here to be a value piece of the list. In an older version, I was playing Baron Zemo and Surge over Fenris Wolf and Gladiator. I am fairly confident that Wolf Gladiator is better. A decent amount of that is that Gladiator is just amazing as follow-up to Iron Patriot, who is a very powerful card in his own right. You have 2 really amazing 3-cost follow-ups to Iron Patriot into Luna Snow. I mean, that's a 3/6. It's really good. It's really big. Iron Patriot into Gladiator. There are far fewer decks that Gladiator is absolutely selling against right now, so that is something to keep in mind as well. This is a very, very strong card that can be used to generate additional win conditions. You can use it to like loop with Misery depending on how the lanes are shaping up. It's just a very good thing to be doing. I think a lot of people have sort of forgotten how good this card can be, but in a deck like this that is often trying to get the most it possibly can out of the energy that it has, it's just a great card to have around. He makes stuff go boom, he makes death cost less, and he auto wins a couple of the relatively common matchups that you'll see in the metagame. He's not always going to be the greatest card on Earth, but baseline, he's going to be able to blow up your Luna Snow 1-drops. He's going to be able to blow up your Hood if you don't want to actually have that guy around. You didn't draw Misery, you got to get rid of him somehow. And there are plenty of targets across the metagame. A lot of decks are still playing 1-drops. You're going to be able to kill things off. He'll be able to clear up locations against Clog. He's just quite good, and he allows you to be a bit more of a death deck. The combination of Luna Snow and Death is sort of the beating heart of this deck. Luna Snow's ice cubes die, and that counts. Luna Snow's ice cubes count towards proccing your death. So you sort of like incrementally move your way towards getting death to be like a 4/12 or a 3/12. Then you also have 7 energies. So you've got like a Death Shang, or you've got like a Death Shadow King Demon. And that kind of stuff is just a really powerful final turn point allocation that you can make. And you just sort of inch your way towards this by like, let's say you do like a Hood Misery. You get these 2 things dead. You also blow something else up with a Killmonger. You just inch your way closer and closer to very powerful turn 6 point output. And Luna Snow is, I mean, she's also a 3/6. Like, she's a 3/6, and you're really using all the parts of the Buffalo when you play this deck. So she's like a 3/6 with like upside here. Gladiator is a lot better than he was only a few weeks ago, in large part because basically nobody is playing Nightmare stuff anymore, and it was a pretty big part of previous metagames. And even if it wasn't that good, it was around, and that really impacts how good Gladiator can be. Obviously, how good this card is not something that is up to this card. The more people playing things that absolutely lose you the game when you hit them with Gladiator, the worse it is for you. But the good news is, a lot of those decks that are really bad to Gladiator into are really good to Shang-Chi Fenris Wolf into. So you end up having a way of compensating for his massive downside some of the time. This is another card that just sort of incrementally gets you closer, right? Like you have your 3/6 that procs your death in Luna Snow, you have your 3/8 that procs your death in Gladiator, and then you just have other ways of making those cards good. It's just pretty straightforward. These are great bodies with potential death upside. Shang-Chi kinda sucks right now. Like, if we weren't sort of hard committing to this death thing, I would say he's not even actively good a lot of the time. It's a combination of a bunch of decks that are built to go under him or to dodge him in various ways. Like the move decks all have Cosmo in them. The Surfer decks are Cosmo Jug decks, and they don't even necessarily get to 10s very often. It's just not exactly his time, but there's just enough things that happen in your average game of Marvel Snap that he's going to be fine enough, and obviously he's a great combination with Fenris Wolf. One of the things that I was kind of wondering about is, like, what if we didn't have Mr. Fantastic? Is the cut, like, get Mercury in here for Mr. Fantastic, get Cannonball in here for Shang-Chi? That's something that did occur to me. So, like, if you were still looking for a Mr. Fantastic replacement, I think that might be a way to try to go. Misery is just phenomenal with the hood, and you can often get other things dead as well. So, like, for example, if you play the hood and then, like, Luna Snow the hood lane and then, like, Misery that lane, you kill off the Luna Snow, you make more ice cubes. Those are more additional procs on your death, more energy. That's a really good way to get, like, a 2-cost death and a bunch of energy on the final turn of the game if you're able to pull that off. Keep in mind, if there are 2 ice cubes in a location, only one will pop at a time, but you're probably doing this on 4, so you will have a chance to get both of them to pop. And that is the kind of thing that, like, allows this deck to do amazing stuff. Don't be afraid to do that if that's what's going to win you the game and get your death to as cheap as you need the death to get to. This is just a phenomenally powerful card. It's a 4/9 with upside that is genuinely unmatched almost anywhere. Just an unbelievable mid-range linchpin, incredible with the hood, and really contributes to our death plan here. Lady Deathstrike is just a card people aren't really expecting. A level 1 here is she's a good answer to Mobius and Mobius, who is otherwise quite problematic for you. Level 2 is she blows up stuff like Surge and Mr. Fantastic, and you can ramp her out on 4. She gets rid of stuff like Dracula. She blows up Bullseyes. She covers a shocking amount of the metagame. It is genuinely surprising. And I know I don't need to beat this hammer anymore, but I will. Yes, the death discounts do matter. I've talked so much about her throughout every other card we've talked about in this list that I honestly don't feel like I have much more to say. This card, if you can get it to be very cheap, is really, really big, and it is awesome to have a really, really big, really, really cheap lady. You are very interested in that. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. This has legitimately been my most successful deck this season, and I'm really impressed with being able to play a deck like this, even in the throes of these sort of larger than the sum of their parts metagame that we're in. Thank you so much for watching. I've been KMBest. You have been phenomenal, and I will see you in the next one. This game is try to get... Wow. Regretting cutting Surge, I'll tell you that much. A big cut Surge regret. Oh my god. That's my card. Can't believe it, man. That was gonna be my whole thing. I was gonna play that in the Luna Snow, and that was my game plan. Can't believe it, man. Okay, well, at least they didn't get a million free dudes. Please don't fuck me, Gladiator. Oh, thank God. Gladiator came really close to fucking me, I think. Great start. Great start. Great start from me. Great start from me. Make some cool things happen. On a break everything patch. So true, bestie. One drop. Oh. A cannonball there?
Wakanda forever.
Whoa. Also, that was the Iron Patriot card, right? Oh, no, that was a Triskelion. Ooh, scary. Scary, scary. I think it's fairly likely I lose the middle here. Not sure what they have. It's not like they likely have a Killmonger or whatever, but like plenty of shit could go wrong. The Ghost is Triskelion, right? Yeah. The Mercury's real? Okay.
Power must be controlled.
If that's a Shang, what's going to happen is we are going to lose the middle, but we will win the two side lanes, hopefully. Okay, I guess we're just going to lose the middle anyway. Fuck my life.
Impressive.
Captain Marvel, save me.
Impressive.
Sure, man. Sure, man. You streaming tomorrow? Why wouldn't I? GB Patriots amazing. I can't always watch on Saturdays because of the time difference. Yeah, no, Saturday is like basically an always day. Oh. Whoa. This feels like a deck where Gladiator is quite bad. Tell me they didn't get Hood Misery. actually did. Okay, I guess they're Galactusing. And they maybe have my death. Or my Shang, depending on how we're looking at it. Don't fuck me. Did not fuck me. Love it.
Knowledge is power.
Power must be controlled.
Holy shit.
Knowledge is power.
Oh my god.
In peace.
That was pretty ridiculous, I feel like. The fucking Phoenix Force Revive Hulkling? It's a pretty good 4-drop, isn't it? It's a pretty good 4-drop, isn't it? It's that turn. And then I could have gotten the arrow that pulled stuff mid. Here for positivity, just lost 100 SP. I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens. Oh my god. They're the coolest man alive. There's probably a decent Darkhawk deck. Derek was playing one earlier. Yo.
Impressive.
Goddamn.
Breaking news. Parker!
Opponent snapped.
Clever, but I mean...
of the throne.
Rest in peace.
I don't know if I can win even with the zero cost death, to be honest with you. I'm so good at this fucking game, dude. Damn, it's actually crazy how good I am, dude. Holy fuck. It's actually crazy how good I am. Look at that. Look at that.
Victory.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 and 9 in my last 12. Now it's a fucking Gamer de la Nimrod. See how this goes.
Wakanda forever!
Impressive.
Pretty sure I win. Yeah, the Luna play was clutch. You just feel bad, don't you?
I want the throne.
You just feel bad, don't you?
Victory.
Fire is so fake. Not a real card. Am I about to lose to a Kyera? Feels like a distinct possibility.
Oh, snap.
I want the throne.
It's a yes. It's explicitly not a yes, actually. It's like actually what it's saying is, you know, I'm open to it. Please give me it. Spoiled by not spoiling. You guys are weird. I would love if the answer is yes, but I'm not a count your chickens before they hatch guy. Just not a thing that I do. What's happening? Boone, wait, aren't you in here? What are you doing, dude? What is this game? The best voice in Marvel Snap. Incredibly high level. Incredibly high level. A level of praise, I'm not sure. Still can't fathom why they buff Misery to a 4. Buddy, me. I think this is fine. What a good kill. My God.
I want the throne.
I do not know. Oh, it stayed at 7? Oh, fuck. I did not realize it stayed at 7. I was a little scared about that. I did not realize that motherfucker stayed at 7. I was counting it as 6. I don't think they have, like, a bunch of shit that actually makes you... Yeah, we've moved far from mill, I think, at this point. Well, I guess 2 turns of Mr. Fantastic is better than none. Great hit. Oh, of course they all go on the cards that are dying. Am I a snapper here? Maybe, maybe not. Not sure.
Power must be controlled.
Would have been if I had that last turn. Am I wrong to try to play around a Killmonger here? Very dangerous. Not enough. Turns out the answer was yes, I was wrong. Human Torch pushed me toward interpret them correctly. Oh my god.
Rest in peace.
Maybe a tiebreak by one, yeah?
Opponent snapped.
What's that mean?
I'm about to juice this up.
All systems go.
So am I supposed to read that they have a Shang here? Play like this instead? The difference of 3 points, but that could be everything. 13, 15. Be at 6, 9 on a Shang. I have Prio. I know, but like my other plays are just Agamotto and like they're gonna Shang me, right? That's what this play means. I'm so fucking good at this game, you guys actually have no idea. You guys actually literally have no idea. In almost every work. Wouldn't felt good you're back? No. I am not back. What's the... Getting Galactus or something. Yeah, brother. No good Galactus lanes. If they move the Cosmo now, they have to feel pretty bad about it, I think. And I don't even mind if my stuff dies here, because it discounts what's-his-face. Like, this is all just kind of chill. They don't get the energy. It's a bunch of shit, right? Ow. Now they move the Cosmo. I still get a lot of dead guys off this.
Impressive. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's
Oh, snap.
I don't know, maybe they're sniping and they know what's happening and they move the Drac to the Cosmo lane and a whole bunch of shit happens, right? Who can say? Nah, I lose. They have the Drac roll to beat me, and it probably does. Oh, never mind. God Gaming. God Gaming for 8. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Victory.
Let's fucking go, dude. God Gaming for 8. Oh, yes.